Hello, my name is Adrian Hyde of Adrian Hyde Photography, and today, you know what day it is, it's Friday, and this can be only mean one thing, it's Photographic Friday, and well, I've got such an exciting episode for you to watch today. Okay. Okay, haven't. No. Okay, so as normal, we'll do the Picz update of what's going on next week. Then we will look into the middle part of the section. And this week I'm doing a little demonstration on not any Photoshop techniques, but just a way of connecting your flashlight or flash gun to the stand. And maybe it's a slightly better way of doing it. But that's coming on the middle section. And the last section is my favourite of all time. But not of all time, but it's my favourite, like I like to do. And it's the talk time. But yes, so you may notice we have some graphics. I'm getting posh. Yeah, and also I've ordered some bits, but they haven't come yet. I've got a webcam coming, which hasn't arrived, all to do with this COVID-19, and I can't get one. And because I had lots of issues with sound, not in the last episode because I did something different, but then last episode I had trouble with syncing stuff. So I was here, and because I recorded it through the iPhone voice recorder, that it was slightly different and it just didn't match, so that was a little bit annoying. So I'm trying something different today, so hopefully that we get everything synced up there, which would be nice. So yeah, it's a different times. So let's get into what's going on, get into the screen, and get rid of this. I'll put that over there. Look, cool, posh. So this is what's going to be going on this next week on the Picz Club. So another really active week. Yeah, we're very lucky. We have lots going on next week. So we have the review of the scanner results, which Charles did 2 weeks ago now. But that's the review of those images. So the people who have turned up to that and been doing that is good. And then we've got a review of the long exposure landscape results. And that's with Charles. With Charles. I thought Brad was doing that. Never mind. One of them would turn up to do it. So then we've got the monthly meeting. Hopefully then you will all come to that. And then we have the Painterly Light on the 8th. That's the week after. And further in the month of June, we hope this is all going to go ahead. It's going to be a physical after work shoot, which is going to be really good. That means we're going to be back in the studio. So we've booked the model, and we obviously booked the studio. And then we have it doesn't really concern you, but have the board meeting. And then on the 25th of June, we have the Sunset Cruise. Now, hopefully that is going to take place. It's always a good one that's run by Nigel. And then on the 30th of June, that's towards the end of the month, then we will have another after work shoot. So hopefully that will all go ahead. Both models are booked for that. So we hope that that things work out for that. I think they will. Everything's now being slowly lifted. So anyway, so that's enough of that. So let's go into the next location and talk you through how I do it, but it's a different way of attaching things together. Your flashlight and your stand and your modifiers. So, see you in the last bit. And welcome to part 2 of Photographic Friday. Yes, we're going to come away from the computer now and talk about a little bit of gear this week. I want to give you a little tip on something I've noticed over the last little while now, because I've been shooting with Enicom for about 3.5 years. And what I've noticed is that I've been shooting with the Yongnuo range for a long time. If you use flash guns, this is a good tip for you, because if you use the flash gun with these type of brackets, well, really good. But what I've noticed is over a bit of time, you put this in and you put a nice modifier like this on. If you bend it over, it puts a lot of strain on these bits here, which I don't think is very good. These are very well made, and the system that I use the Yongnuo and the Enicom both together. I use these as fill lights normally at the back, and this is the key light. So I need a dummy receiver. So I put this on here, and these Enicom receivers the build quality is very good. But over the course of time, if I put that on, and then put that on top, and then tilt it, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on, I hope you can see this, on this joint here. And I've noticed that sometimes it lifts up. I haven't broken one of these yet. I haven't broken one yet, and the build quality is very good. So I thought of a different way of mounting all this. So I've got one of these, and these come in Bowens as well, but this is the Enicom fit, and it's genius, absolute genius. So let's take this off. So these are very good, but sometimes there are better ways of doing things. So if I just slip this into here, like this. Now all the strain, and this gets bounced on here, all the strain's on here. It's on this joint here, and it's brilliant because that's what it's made for. It's made for taking heavier light shapers like this. So it works very well. You just slip that on there like that. And with the Enicom system, I would recommend that you use one of these, especially when you're using a bare bulb, because it doesn't, the light, it won't, however much you want to spread it out, it won't spread out that much, but at least this, and it does a silver one as well. So you can just slip that, I'll do that in a second. Let's just put this on first. So that's on. So yeah, that goes in there like that, and then this just fits in there. And what that will do is, it will diffuse the light that comes out here straight away and give them all around it, and also put light back into it and then fill this box up a little bit better. So that works very well. They do a silver and gold one of these. If you do a silver and gold one, which is solid, and it throws the light directly back, and you get a little darker patch of light here, which is it gives a more of a beauty light effect. But then you can put these in as well. There's another one to go on the outside, but this works very well. So that's good. That's the first thing. So let's whip this off. And of course then, because there's very little strain on everything, you can just put that in there, and it's brilliant because it just works much better like this. It's really, I think I found a way of not damaging these. because these are, no, they're not cheap. They're quite expensive. They're very good as well. So that one comes off. So, right, now, if you just want, I use these a lot as well, these Rogue light shapers. So you can take them off like this. You can have them as a softbox. You can have them as there's a grid that goes over here, and also have, you take this off and then you can shape the light around how you like it. And they work very well. But they are very heavy and they put a lot of strain on there. So if I do this, just fit this very quickly, very roughly. Oops. Right. I mean, it doesn't look much, but even if you can imagine that being clamped there, you want to tilt it forward. It doesn't take much for that to fall and you've lost it. So it's a lot of strain, a lot of weight goes where it doesn't need to go. So I'll just slip that on like this. Big fan of this. So that goes on like that, and you think, but the beauty of this is this tilts back. Oops, not that. This tilts back. Oh, it tilts back, so you get more. Tilt it out like this, and you just tighten it up, and it puts a strain where it should be on this joint here. This joint here, which is I've proven it. I'm really happy with this. It's still very versatile. It's a little bit more bulky. That's the only other problem. It's a bit more bulky, but it will save your flash guns and your flash gun connections. So I think I'm gonna leave that there now. So the next bit on this video is my favourite time, which is talk time, and yeah, just hang around for that. If not, then thanks very much for watching up to now. So let's dive into the computer. And we're back here. So now it's time for talk time. So let's go straight into the screen. Hope you like this little graphic here. Let's move me a little bit. Hope you like the little graphic here. It's it's something new. It's something new. So let's get rid of that. Let's do this. Get rid of that. Don't need that anymore. Okay. So I haven't asked Charles if I could use this yet, but last week I said about the grain in photos, how they used to be. And this is a little bit off subject, but I just want to show you that in here, look, in here, in the highlights, there is very, very little grain because it's all been burnt away. And then here in the mid-tones around here, there's quite a lot of grain. And in the dark bits, because there's no light there, you just can't see the grain. So I'm hoping that I'll run a workshop on how to achieve this effect in Photoshop. So that'd be quite good. That'd be quite good. So get rid of that now. Now it's all to do with little bits and pieces that I've found on the internet every week as I go through, and some of it is a bit of fun, and some of it's a bit more serious. So let's get this into. So the first bit that I found was this the gaps in education. With the COVID-19 that's coming on, there's the gaps in between education is widening between the poor and the more affluent, and this
entertainment gaps between
just shows.
Under lockdown, the ability to learn can be stifled by environment and access to technology. Year 12 student Sharon worries she's fallen behind, as for a while she struggled to get hold of a laptop.
The government and schools expect us to maintain the expectations they have grade-wise, and some of us.
So yeah, it's a bit worrying some of this stuff that the education, and I don't know whether the children, how long it's going to take for them to actually catch up with this, which was going on, because a lot of them, they've been at home, they've been in lockdown, so this is not so good. And all the links to these videos, if they interest you, are in the bits below, so you can see them. Oh, I don't want to see that. And when I was growing up, we had I always used to watch this, Only Fools and Horses, and I used to love watching Only Fools and Horses. Why is this not opening? But I stumbled across this this video, and it shows some of the locations where Del Boy went and where they lived, and I just thought this was very interesting that they've gone along and they've gone and resourced these places, and it's, for me, it's historic, and it's so interesting. If I'm ever lucky to go back to London again, then I think I would like to try and find some of these places. So if you're a fan of Only Fools and Horses and you're in and around London, then the link to this is below. And it's just one of those, I think, one of those really interesting things that you can go and look at. Okay, so next on my list was Cruse. Oh, back on the cruises again. Is this the one that's, let's get rid of this for now. Adverts. Don't like adverts.
There's so much news coming from Cruse this week. All the big players, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Line, Carnival, and much more. We've put it all together in one easy bumper episode for you to watch, so stay tuned.
These are great, these guys, absolutely great.
Hi there, Cruisers. We're Cruse with Ben and David. Hope you're safe and well. So let's go straight to the news and break it down into the different cruise lines. We're first going to start with Royal Caribbean. This also includes Celebrity Cruises as well as Azamara. So they've announced that they've cancelled all sailings up till July the 31st. This means
there's quite with the cruises, it's quite they've done some announcements, but it's really interesting. There's 2 minutes 5 seconds. So I'm trying on 2 minutes 5 seconds, because there they said something quite poignant, and
it means that things like social distancing, which we still don't think will work, not just on cruise lines, it won't work anywhere. Doctors have already said it won't work on flights, local transport, busy places. It's not going to work anywhere to do with tourism, really, but it is going to make it a little bit more possible in things like the dining rooms and the big busy areas.
And a 30% load factor. I'm really surprised at that. It does mean that they can still be making money on these ships, even if they're not at capacity.
I'm really surprised at that. Really.
So that was very interesting. I watched this, and that really sort of brought home something to me, that the tourist industry is going to be it's going to struggle for a long time until everything is sort of half back to normal. What else to do? This is another interesting one. There's had
whenever you leave your cabin, you have to wear a mask at all times, unless you're obviously
interview with a couple of people who are still on the cruise ships themselves. They're still out there. They still have to be manned. They still have to be maintained. But this video here it was really quite interesting. That the people still on the cruise ship, they still work. They can't get off, but some of them are getting paid, some aren't. So that's another quite an interesting one to watch. if anyone watches these. This one I found as well. This one was really also very interesting.
One of the areas which is open on the ship.
And this chap goes round the whole ship and just shows how eerie this is when there's no one around. I'll finally, he goes through some restaurants.
Not right now.
Just goes through.
Much like the FE store, closed up, wrapped up. See the Stanleys in there, all wrapped, poor Stanleys. So, this is quite a strange one. International Cafe going into the casino on deck 6. International Cafe normally will be open 24 hours, but obviously not tonight. No pastries either. You can see the chairs are all stacked up behind me, and then this leads into the casino. Thankfully, there's quite a few lights on here, but I think this would probably be one of the worst places to go have a look at.
So he walks around the whole ship, he sees, you see what it's like. It's so strange to see what these places are like when there's no one on board. Looks quite creepy actually. And this is
Stuart here from Spain Speaks with an update on the current situation here in Spain. Day 72 of the current crisis, and today again it's all about the phases as people today move into a new phase in many parts of the country. Specifically here in Madrid, we're moving into phase 1, and many places around the country moving into phase 2. And there were also some big announcements over the last couple of days about the tourist season here in Spain, but I'll tell you about that in just a tick. Firstly, a big thanks to all of the people that left comments on the last video.
Okay, if you plan to go to Spain this summer, then this is definitely worth a watch. It goes into some details of what the phases are, and yeah, it's worth the watch. It really is. And my favourite ones. Let's start looking at the webcams. I found a new webcam. Well, a new one, but it's been around a while. This is Times Square in New York. Steve, this is your neck of the woods. So yeah, I looked at this. I thought this is so strange, but obviously I'm recording this at 11:30 on Friday. As you can see up here, look, 11:30 Friday. So I don't know what time it is. I think there's 7 hours difference. But yeah, there's just no one around. And New York has always been the place that it never sleeps. But there's not a great deal going on there. That's all. Is this going to move? It's going to move. Is it going to move? Go on, move! See, it does a sweep where it goes down, and I don't know if it's going to do it. There we go. There's a car going in there. There's another car going in there, but that's it. It's not. Is there any sound on this? No, there's no sound on this. And let's look at my favourite one. I do look at this one quite regularly. Come on, be good. It's not being good. I have to copy in up here. There has been slightly more activity I've noticed over the last few days here. There's 3 or 4, but generally it's still very, very quiet. See here, there are few people kicking around, but not that many. There are a few. And after this, we'll look at the numbers, and there's some really good news with the numbers. There are some places now which actually are in negative, which is pretty good. Yes, this is really... That's good. It's good to see. There's not many people, as you see, there's hardly anyone down here. Oh, there's some activity there, but not a great deal. Is there one more? Here it is. Oh, I think we're back to the beginning, back to where it started now. So let's have a quick look at this. This is in Switzerland. As you can see, we're still plus. Children have been back to school now. They've been almost 3 weeks now. They've been back. We're going into our 3rd week. So they would have finished 3. Yeah, they would have finished 3 weeks this Friday. So this is how it is with the children back at school and mixing. This is really good. And Germany went back as well. Let's look at England next. See, they are still a little bit behind us. The numbers here, 0.3. No, they are they're catching up, which is good to see. Spain, look at this, minus. You actually went into minus numbers. It's really good. Really good. And Germany, they also went back to school at the same time that our children went back to school. But this is interesting, +2%, +4. So as things are getting better, things are slowly returning back to normal. Yeah, so let's get this back on and ta-da. So that's that for this week. Oh, I could say goodbye on here. Should I say goodbye on here or on that one? Oh, let's go back to this one. Okay, so that's it for this week, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed that. Just to help me out as a bit of an experiment, if you liked and actually watched this video, the people who did, put a thumbs up on the thumbs up bit. Even if you didn't like it, because I think it helps the algorithms. I've learned this, it helps the algorithms for me. So that'll be good. So until next week, see you soon. From me, bye-bye for now.